We
going
had
on, Ten Hut? What's up, brother?
we had the
Ten Hut with
different
a side of whiskey, bro.
intro, the old intro. Hey,
So,
hey,
so
she
for
turned you
today's
into the good
podcast,
side, didn't she?
yeah, for today's podcast, it's Health and Wellness Month, and it's about you know getting in, you know, getting in touch with your friends, family, just creating a stronger bond with a lot of your support system. And Will and Pedro. Pedro unfortunately isn't here because he's traveling out to Texas, but Will and Pedro are definitely one of my strongest support systems. And in honor of Will today, and I know I'm gonna get shit for this because I'm Army, but I'm drinking out of an Air Force cup.
It's all right.
So
Cheers, brother.
cheers, brother, to you, bro. So
Since you want to get sappy, you know, Jose, he has like this telepathic way to know when something is wrong. Because all of a sudden, whenever I'm down or something is going on where I'm not feeling myself, um, I get a ring, either a text or
yeah, bro.
something. Hey, what's going on? Is everything all right? And it's always on cue. I don't know how he does it, but maybe he's got like cameras in my house or something.
And the last time I was there, that whiskey bottle that you got for your birthday,
Yeah.
check the cap, bro.
Check the cat. What? It finally ran out, so
we got to get you another one, man.
yeah. Well, hey everybody, it is Wellness Month. There's many things that veterans go through that cause us to sometimes contemplate, what's going on, where we're headed, where we need to go. There's a lot of resources that are out there, of course, nonprofits that can help you out, but at the end of the day, sometimes we look for company and individuals that have experienced the same things that we've gone through, maybe in a different capacity or different way, but they understand where you're coming from or what you're talking about. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
a lot of the times we tend to, and especially when you're like a veteran community, we tend to gravitate towards each other, man. It's but like we mentioned earlier, it's something that you need to cultivate and water, and because it is, in the long run, it is beneficial, especially when you're talking about friends and family. These different pillars
yeah,
that help you sustain that structure that you're creating to better your life.
yeah,
So so like for today, and you're right, dude. I know that a lot of people have this bad impression of the VA system,
yeah,
and with sometimes with good with good or some backed up evidence. But if you're willing to work with the system,
yeah,
it's also willing to work with you and for you. Um, so I know that because I work with the VA, you
yeah,
might think that I'm trying to promote it, but I'm not. It's worked for me,
yeah. No,
but because I'm willing to put the work into it.
exactly. Um, and it's something I've always said too. I've had my share of bad experiences with the VA.
Yeah.
And we talk about this, I think, every single show where we say you got to go and get it yourself. When
Yep.
you get a no, you need to ask why. I'll tell you, right now you probably can't see, but my eyes are pretty dilated. They're kind of going back to normal, so the
Yeah.
screen looks all blurry. I'm not drunk. It's just that my eyes were dilated. They're coming back, but I went today to the VA, right? I get migraines from bright lights, so they know that they've had it in my record. I'm part of the TBI clinic, so I can just visit the TBI clinic. Something happened where they put something about I was discharged from TBI. the reason that I was discharged from TBI is because the section that used to take care of me separated from a part of TBI. So now there's different components of TBI clinic. All right. So it's a technicality problem. So I went and I said, hey, I'm noticing that my vision is getting blurry. I used to have perfect vision, 15, 17 vision, like perfect vision. So now any blurriness is really bothersome to me because I'm not used to that. Whereas somebody might have like 200, 300, type vision.
Yeah.
And for them to get glasses that are Coke bottles that regulate their eyesight, that seems normal to them. But for me, my vision is, almost perfect. But since I've always had great vision, now it's affecting me. It's bothering me, right? So I went to optometry. Uh, they're trying to take care of me, checking my eyes. They said, yeah, you've lost some vision. It's not that bad, but coming from you, we can see why there's a problem. And then they shot me with, well, TBI now handles this, so you're not getting sunglasses this time. And I told them, hey, I need sunglasses. If you're going to change my prescription, I need you to update my sunglasses as well. After a little going back and forth, they're like, okay, let's look at your record. They looked at my record a little deeper and they said, yeah, you don't get your sunglasses from TBI. You actually get them from here. And it's preventative for your migraines, right? So I don't get migraines. So it's just sometimes, systems change, and I know it's sometimes like the first thing that would go like, what the hell are you talking about? What the F are you talking about?
Yeah.
I've always got my stuff from here. What's going on? Sometimes you got to ask, the individual that was helping me, he's a brand new doctor,
In a bit of patience. Well, actually, a lot of patience.
a lot of patience. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have patience and persistence,
Yeah.
man. So you might be wondering, oh, why the fuck
Yeah.
are these guys talking about their current situation at the VA? Well, it's all about self-care, and
Yeah.
it's all about maintaining those appointments at the VA,
Yeah.
because ultimately, if you haven't had a rating at the VA, it ultimately is going to help you
Yeah.
when you do try to
Get that rating.
go for a rating.
Yeah.
So maintain those appointments, self-care. There's a lot of programs that the VA currently has
Yeah.
for health and wellness.
Yeah.
Over at the West LA VA, I know that a lot of the times they'll take the inpatients and they'll take them around on the wellness walk,
Yeah.
which is a big ass loop around
Yeah. The whole
Building
campus.
500.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you're willing and able, they'll take you
all
around
the
the
way
whole. Yeah,
across or under the bridge of the main road, the dark
yeah,
bridge.
yeah.
Dark bridge. Yeah, the VA definitely tries to do a lot of things. One of the big things that they recently did to create a better, uh, healthy type VA is not even employees can smoke on campus. You literally have to walk out to the street to go
Yeah.
smoke. And I know a lot of people that smoke might be thinking, well, but at the end of the day, we know smoking is not good for you. Even if you smoke, it's not good for you. So why should you be exposed to somebody that doesn't smoke, or somebody that doesn't smoke exposed to somebody that does smoke? It could be a little irritating sometimes. So for some people, and that's one of the things that they're trying to watch out for is the health and wellness of everybody, or the majority of veterans. It's not hurting anybody to take some extra steps to the road.
You know what I came across today? I did some research and I was like, I was looking at what the benefits of the Veteran Canteen
Mm-hmm.
online services are,
Yeah.
and there is an app that you can get for more than, actually it's half off on the Veteran Canteen, and it's called Calm.
Yeah, Calm.
Yeah, and you can get it for half off. It's only $25, and normally, actually, it's more than half off because normally it's $69.99.
Yeah.
And Calm helps you with meditation, with finding your perfect REM sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but I know that the meditation portion of it. It's a walkthrough meditation. They walk you through breathing, through uh, calming or quieting that chattered mind.
Hmm.
So it's I don't I bought it today, so I'm willing to give it a try because
Yeah,
I'm looking for a little bit more focus
yeah,
on a lot of things because of my TBI, my PTSD. It's
yeah,
hard for me to maintain focus longer than 10-15 minutes.
yeah,
So when I'm at work, I have to be able to focus for longer than that period of time, so that
yeah.
I can get tasks done. So
For a lot of you that don't know what Veterans Canteen, it's literally like the BX, PX, or the NEX,
yeah,
or the uh, MCX, um, with the exchange, pretty much. But the canteen was established for veterans. Now that veterans with a service connection can enter into the commissary and BX. As a matter of fact, I'll bring this up right now since we're talking about it. You can shop online. You just got to go and register or reactivate your account. So what happens is when you exit the military, you lose your access to the BX and or My Exchange online. But if you just go reactivate it, it takes 5 minutes, and you can start shopping at the BX or exchange, the commissary,
yeah. The
and
exchange,
online.
it's so it's called the Veteran Canteen, and there's a bunch
Yeah,
of benefits there. Like
yeah,
if you're looking into doing a little bit of travel on a
yeah.
budget,
You
like
can
they
buy all
have
that stuff
discounts. Yeah, discounts on
like
hotels.
MWR, like an NWR or ITT.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that those resources are available for you.
yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Now,
next travel you got? I know you're always planning some travel. You and your wife are always traveling.
so the next one, and this one's going to be for our wellness right after
Yeah,
uh, we bought this house.
yeah.
So we're going to Hawaii in October
Nice, nice. So why do you think I'm asking?
because you want to be invited.
Yeah,
No.
I want to be invited. I don't want to go to Hawaii with you and your wife, bro.
No, you'll
Uh,
definitely be third wheel.
no, I am not trying to do that. The big thing is you gotta find some time to get the hell away. You know,
Yeah.
it's really easy to get cooped up. It's really easy for you to socially isolate yourself. You know, we're not going to talk in depth of social isolation, but look up the definition of social isolation. And if you meet any criteria in there, you need to get the hell out of there, because you should never be isolating yourself to a point where you have not are not communicating with anybody. Um,
And it's so interesting after coming out of, or I don't know if we're out of it, but
mhm.
coming from what we just went through this past year,
COVID,
where a lot of people were isolating themselves, forcefully isolating themselves. These
yeah,
extroverts, um,
we're
they
going
were,
crazy.
yeah, they were completely going nuts.
I shouldn't say
But
that. I shouldn't say crazy. That's not an appropriate term, but you know what I mean.
eh,
We're
you know
losing
what?
our minds. We're losing our minds.
Yeah. So it's definitely something that is needed when you're trying to recoup,
Yeah,
and find a center again.
yeah,
And it doesn't have to. And I mentioned this earlier. Like it doesn't have to break the bank. You can do this on a budget. You don't
yeah,
have to go that far, as long as it's not in the same environment you've been in for the
yeah,
past month and up to a year.
yeah,
So it's very important. And it will mention, like, if social isolation, look it up, and but also look up the how harmful it can be,
yeah,
uh, to someone's morale,
yeah,
mental states, and that mental state can actually turn into physical pain and physical suffering. So it's
yeah.
very important.
Something that you brought up right now, because sometimes we're financially struggling. I've been
Yeah.
through it. I've been through the man. I barely got enough for a cup of noodles and my rent. I'm a person that will prioritize on my needs before my wants. So once my needs are taken care of, my house, my bills, all the stuff that I
But
have to pay,
that
then
wasn't always the case, right?
yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Then I'll focus on my wants. But here's one thing: you getting out there and doing things is a need. It's not a want. Now, what I'm saying, what I mean by that is that there's certain things you can go and do without spending. I'm not saying go to the club and drop $300 for a private table. I know that could be fun, but let's come down to reality and find what will make you happy and keep you happy. Because yeah, going to the club and having fun is temporarily. It's not. You can't hear anything. You can't talk to anybody. You're not really. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but if you can't, you can't, right? And definitely don't want to put yourself in a burden where you're feeling guilty about what you're doing. But getting
Especially
out
after
there,
the fact.
yeah, of course, and that's exactly what happened. Man, I spent what on what? I don't even remember it. And that's
Damn
bad.
it! And in 2 days I have rent.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
shouldn't do that. You should definitely be conservative in that. But that's a budgeting class that we'll probably give. No, we'll talk
Yeah.
about budgeting another time. But here's the thing. I What I want you to think about is talking to people. Like sometimes I'll hit up Jose and be like, "Hey, let's do a cookout on the weekend, right? We'll
Yeah.
make something. Everybody pitches in a couple bucks or pitches in something, or going out hiking, going out to the beach, just having a social time. Where you're relaxing, having a little bit of fun. If you like hiking, going outdoors, do that. And don't be disencouraged because you ask somebody and they're like, "Hey, I can't go." Then ask the next person. There's a ton of veterans. I'm pretty sure you can look in your phone and find about 500 contacts because
Yeah.
us veterans like to store numbers from 2001 when the war first started.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm pretty sure you can find somebody on social media, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, or your phone contacts. You just got to keep trying, punch it away. Hey, anybody interested in going for a hike? Who knows? You might get 20 people if you send out a mass blast, right? I'm thinking about hiking in Laguna. I'm thinking of hiking out in Santa Monica or Manhattan or wherever you're at, right?
Just get out, man.
Yeah, just get out. Just get out. And don't be disencouraged because you get hey, I can't go. People got things to do too, right? And I mean, whatever tightness they got going on, maybe they got to work overtime because they need to make their bills. You got to think about that stuff. It's not that people don't want to go. It's that
I got a new pastime for people. If you find yourself not having anything to do at 7 p.m. on a Thursday, you know where the fuck we are.
Right here.
Yeah, we're right here, right with you.
Right with you. It's and that's one big thing is don't ever feel disencouraged because you get a no. Keep asking. Maybe that time they couldn't go. Next time they'll go. If they're always flaking, just forget. No, I'm just kidding.
Delete the number.
Yeah, and sometimes ask what's going on. Why it doesn't hurt to ask sometimes. Hey, what's going on? Why can't you come out?
You know what? I actually think that at least for me, man, one of the best ways that I think helps me improve my wellness or my well-being
Yeah.
is figuring out, or not figuring out, but finding out what other people, my friends and my family, are going through, and trying to figure their problems out.
Yeah.
Like helping others is basically what I'm trying to say. It's like helping others helps me.
It makes you realize that you're not alone.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. That's the big thing. It's we sometimes sit there and we're like, oh man, like I'm going through all this, and you don't realize that everybody else is too. that other
Yeah.
people are going through similar things, maybe a different, experience that they had or whatever, but it's very likely that they're going through the same feelings you are, the same problems that are going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I know times are changing for people. Times have been changing, and they've been different, and it's just been difficult to reach out to people, to see those people that you're closest to.
Yeah.
Oh, and at times, like Will's a little further than I would like him to be. To be, and then we got our buddy Pedro, who's moving even further
Yeah, he
to
is.
to Texas. So but there's ways. When there's a will, there's a way, and there's a will, and we have a way, and this is the way. This is the way to connect. Oh yeah, this way. This way.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and you just connect with people. Do this. Do this. Do have a drink with somebody online. You don't have to
Yeah.
be, you know, right next to each other, smelling each other's farts and shit. But
Thanks for clearing that up. Nah, and that's one thing that we do have an advantage of is that we can, hit up people and use either Duo, Google Duo for Android or FaceTime on Facebook or Zoom or
yeah,
we have so many ways to get a hold of people if we need a face to face. We don't really have to travel anymore. But I encourage you to step away from that. If you can take it, go get in the car and drive out to your friend or wherever you got to go. But
yeah.
times are difficult. You got to take what you got, improvise. I know at least in the Air Force, they taught us that, but I don't know in the Army.
Now we adapt.
Yeah, there you go. Adapt and drink out of an Air Force cup.
This is me adapting.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. I know Jose is big time on going camping. I don't
Yeah,
like
man.
I don't like camping. I like glamping, but I don't
Yeah,
like
I was
camping.
gonna say I'll take you glamping. You gotta rough it, man. I don't get it. As being a PJ, man, it's like, you guys didn't go out on the field that much, or what?
What? Why would I go do what I used to do for a living, and then now I gotta pay for this stuff? Nah, man. If I'm gonna pay for something, I'm gonna pay for a nice cabin with a fireplace.
You know what, dude? I felt the
Healthy
same
bed.
way about. I actually feel the same way about like um, jumping out of an airplane nowadays. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, come on, let's go skydiving." I was like,
Yeah,
"Why the fuck would I go pay
yeah.
$300 just for somebody?"
To be strapped to my back with
Yeah,
their junk on
I'm
my freaking ass.
but when it's free, I'll
Yeah,
do it.
I'll do
'Cause
it.
my wife took me last year. She took me. She was gonna do this skydive with
Mhm,
the German army,
mhm.
and out of nowhere they're like, "Hey, how about you guys join us too?" And it was her sister, myself, and my wife. I was like, "Yeah, if it's free, I'll do it." But
Yeah,
if you have me pay for it for some dumb shit that I used to do as a job in the military, I'm not doing it. I'm not paying for
yeah. No, it's
it.
true. I mean, uh, I don't agree with doing the freeness
Yeah.
or doing and paying. I'll do for free, but I won't pay. Uh, you know what? It's the same thing now with swimming. I'll go into the pool, the hot tub, but you catch me in the ocean, it's because I'm scuba diving because I actually like scuba diving. It's a
Yeah.
different experience every single time. I don't think I can ever say I went scuba diving and it was the exact same thing even if I went diving in the same exact place as I went the previous time,
Oh my God, dude.
it's always a
Yeah.
different world. It's a different world, It's like kind of like walking down in downtown LA. You're gonna see different people every single day, right? Unless you like know
I'm
people.
gonna promote this one more time, and I've done it probably a handful of times right now. But the Waves Project, the Waves Project, the Waves Project.
Yeah.
If you're a veteran and you're service connected, they will teach you how to dive. They will go as far as getting you a master diver certification.
Wow.
The only issue is if you live in LA County, you're going to have to go to Temecula.
Yeah.
It's quite far, but it's a weekend that you could spend in the water, in the ocean, on a boat, diving.
But I'm gonna tell you how much it's worth, though,
Yeah,
right? Because just for your beginner,
open
your
water.
open water. I don't even remember what the hell it was. I certified when I was 16 for open water. Your open water by itself is $750 around. I mean, the
Yep.
cheapest I think I found, and you had to provide your own full gear, meaning you have to spend about 200 for all the everything
Yeah.
to rent stuff. The rest of them, you just got to get your own goggles because they don't want you sharing. You keep those, and then your own a snorkel and your own boots.
Yeah,
Uh,
your booties. Yeah.
the cheapest one I found was like 500, almost $600. It was close to 600, but then you're spending another 200 on all the equipment you have to get. So it evens out to $750. It's like
Yeah. So
it's
I
like
think I found it. I found it for like $400, but then you had to pay for your material. Yeah, like your own school, because you do have to
and the
study. You do
class
have to.
is $250. So it's the
Yeah.
same price.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
so that Waves project is pretty awesome because that's a lot of money. And if you just have to drive from LA to Temecula to uh you're saving a ton of money if you're just spending 20-30 bucks on gas.
Now, so that's one thing, and then you get your open water certification,
Mhm.
and then you start doing some dives. I believe you need about 100 hours worth of dives um, to be qualified to become a master diver.
No, a lot more, brother.
Is it really? I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
100 hours.
Okay, so once you get your open water, you can actually immediately jump into advanced diver.
Yeah,
Okay. So open water only allows you to dive 50 feet.
yeah,
If something around 65, I think is the most. Once you go to advanced, they ask you what 5 advanced courses do you want to take. The first one you have to take is deep diving because that allows you to go see some wrecks. The second one is
right, right.
wreck diving because that allows you to go see some wrecks, some battleships that are
Yeah.
sunken out there. The third one, navigation, I highly encourage. Um,
Oh yeah.
and then night diving is if you're not too scared, too claustrophobic, because as it is, it feels claustrophobic when you're scuba diving. If you're not too claustrophobic, I highly recommend night dive. And then the third one,
But
photography, so you can take some pictures and get better at
but
your GoPro and stuff.
you said it in the right order, dude. Because if you want to do night diving before you do navigation, you're gonna be fucked.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's so navigation and then night diving.
yeah,
Or I'm gonna try my hardest to get the Waves Project on here because
yeah,
it is Wellness Month, and I believe and I know
yeah,
it's helped a lot of veterans
yeah.
um, because it's a
If
lot of
you
us.
want to social isolate, do it in the ocean.
Yeah,
I'm serious. If you want to social isolate, hey, you'll be isolated in the ocean.
yeah,
With
that's
just
so true.
fish.
Especially when you're like you're getting anxiety. You get anxiety from large crowds, a lot of noises. Do a dive and experience the sound of
Your bubble.
yeah, your
Your
breather,
breathing. That's it.
your breathing, your heartbeat, because you'll
Oh,
listen to your
you'll
heartbeat.
hear your heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll hear it.
your heart beating, and it's just you.
Yeah.
You might see somebody in front of you, like you're, because you always have to dive with the buddy.
Hmm.
You might see somebody in front of you, but you don't hear them.
No.
You you hardly interact with them unless you're,
Yeah.
you're doing signals to each other and stuff like. But it's just you.
Yeah.
The only one taking care of yourself is
Self
you
is
down
you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if something, I mean, God forbid something goes wrong, things do happen. I've had my regulator go out, and I had to take out my emergency
Yeah.
regulator,
Yeah.
and I had to beat the crap out of my primary. It, it definitely you really got to be focusing on a lot of stuff. You got
Yeah.
your depth and all that stuff. I mean, let's save that for the show. But it's definitely a great experience. I love doing it. I love doing it with a friend that I really know that knows how to dive, and
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity to meet new people as well, because you'll start diving with some people, and then you're like, oh, I really like this, and you find somebody that really likes it like you, and then you start diving together in different locations, flying out to places, Coastal
Yeah.
Marine.
So, and I guess this is going to be like the one of my last thoughts about the Waves project is they have different annual trips that they go to
Yeah,
all over the world. When I went through the Waves project, they had just come back from a wreck dive
yeah.
um, in Panama, I believe,
Wow.
where they were requested by this organization uh, to go out there and do salvage, where they
Wow.
were uh, just either taking pictures and doing some salvage work,
Yeah,
but they recruit students.
yeah,
The Waves Project, they have their dive masters, they have all their personnel, but there's sometimes when they'll put it out there like, hey, we're gonna need two more divers, and we like you, you're experienced enough, we like how you dive, come with us. So
yeah,
they have opportunities like that where you get to travel. They've been almost all over the world on different dives, doing different types of missions. So if you're interested and you're a good diver and you connect with the Waves Project, they'll take you anywhere, man.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, save that money. Go check out some new stuff and save that money.
Right?
Yeah. You know, Jose, I always loved hanging out with you and talking to you, man. You're
Yeah, me too,
definitely
brother.
a big healer for me, for all the veterans listening out there. And I mean, even if you're not a veteran, you should have somebody that understands you in certain aspects of your life. Don't
Yeah,
just isolate yourself to one person that you always talk to about your problems. Uh, Talk about your different issues with different people that have been through the experiences that you've been through, or that at least understand or have a deeper concept of what's going on.
yeah,
It's
man.
really hard for one person to take in all. Spread the wealth, and definitely be um, proactive on yourself on getting the help that you need, and those ears to listen to you, as well as, like you said, Jose, people that are listening to what or you're listening to people, and then realizing, hey, you know what, we're going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
uh,
The- yeah, and in some instances, it's like I said, it's like helping others helps me.
yeah,
And if you're one of those people, and you tend to gravitate to those people that need help, then do it. Then do it more often so that your well-being is taken care of, and focus on those life pillars, man. Your family, your
yeah,
friends, your. I know that we didn't talk too much about finances, but finance is a big freaking pillar on that foundation and that structure that you're trying to build for yourself. So, and we'll talk about it more on another podcast where we're going to bring in somebody that talks a little bit more about
family.
The ultimate goal, what you and I were talking about earlier, the ultimate goal is purchasing a house. It's and your finances, like how to get there.
Yeah.
Because it is, at least it was for me, one of the biggest stressors is how the fuck do I reach this part of my life where I can actually buy a house?
You know what's crazy is that most of the individuals that right now are veterans, right? They're sitting in the millennial, and I was just reading some research that says that 30% is what the 30% of millennials are buying property. You know, that's pretty freaking low, man. You know, I mean, back if you think like the boomers generation that used to buy, you know, everybody owned a property, a house, you know, when it was affordable. So now, what do you got to do to get into a house, you know? But we'll talk about that in another show. What else you got, Jose? Are we wrapping up? You got some news for me?
No, man. Just
the LA Collab. When do we have that?
So the LA Collaborative is. Give me one second.
You forgot already.
It is the second Wednesday of every month.
The second Wednesday of every month. And so we'll, you know, if you want to sign up for that, make sure you reach out to the LAcollab.org, right?
Yeah, .org, LAcollab.org. You'd sign up. They have a lot of useful information, a lot of separate groups. If you're not interested in the major group that talks about any update that's going on in the community, there's definitely a subgroup that you can join that's better suited for what your needs are.
Yeah.
So join that. It's extremely informative, and my wife runs it. So.
The last thing before we head out, definitely I want to throw out this number. You know, it's very important. You know, if any veteran is struggling through anything, you know, I was reading an article, same thing. 30% of Army have contemplated suicide throughout this pandemic. It's been pretty crazy. You know, the fact that, you know, we got to think about our service members that are currently active. You know, me and you, we don't have to worry about, you know, if we go out, we go out. But, you know, the active duty were definitely on a different control where they weren't allowed to do anything, not visit family, not, you know, no travel for a year. And you know, that's some of the freedoms that we take for granted. Suicide went up last year with the specifically the focus with the U.S. Army. So keep that in mind. You know, always look out for your wingman or your battle buddy. Whatever you call it in your branch. You know, definitely keep out for your people. Check up on them. Do a check-in. Right.
All right, brother.
All right. Hey, we're wrapping up the show. Make sure you're subscribing to 10hutshow.org.
Subscribe.
YouTube. Yeah, we got to get those numbers up. I appreciate your time. Salud. We don't have anybody to ask about MRE, so salud, brother.
No, bro. Salud. Aim high, bro.
I'm gonna save this for the rest of my life right here. This video of you drinking out of an airport.
And I just saluted and said aim high, dude. This will never happen again, by the way. maybe next year. But.
All right.
Bro. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. I'm trying to find the ending.